Hello, welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Chat About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Today's video is about misogyny and Scotland and Hamza Yusuf. It's like my mind is such a kerfuffle after reading this, and well, let's just read it because I want to know. I would like to know what you think. Yusuf, trans women will be protected by misogyny law. Scotland's First Minister has said transgender women will be protected under any new misogyny laws. Hamza Yousaf insisted that anyone affected by misogyny would be covered, whatever their biological sex. He also insisted the Scottish Government would not spend an inordinate amount of time deciding whether to follow the recommendations of the recent Cass review into gender care. Okay, so the Cass review focused predominantly on children and young people. I'm still in the middle of reading it. I'm not ready to make a video on it yet, so I will not be commenting on the Cass review in the section below. But the Scottish Government wants to introduce a bill to tackle misogyny before the end of the current parliamentary term in 2026, following a review carried out by human rights lawyer Baroness Helena Kennedy KC. Women were not included in the recent Hate Crime and Public Order Scotland Act 2021 that was introduced on 1st of April, a decision that Mr. Yousaf said has followed discussions with a number of women's groups. When asked whether fresh legislation would cover transgender women, Mr. Yousaf said that it would, as whoever was directing misogynistic abuse would be unaware if a woman was trans or not. So, what about the opposite then? Misandry. And what about trans men? How are they protected? That's a question that I have. Separate law. He told the BBC's Good Morning Scotland programme women and girls will be protected and trans women will be protected as well, as they will often be the ones who suffer threats of RAPE or threats of disfigurement, for example. Okay, so what about the activists that put around the violent threats on Twitter, on X? I believe that one of the Scottish Greens, Beth Douglas, was suspended for violent threats. Would someone like Beth Douglas also be protected under the misogyny law? When a trans woman is walking down the street and a threat of RAPE is made against them, the man making the threat doesn't know if they are trans woman or a cis woman. They will make that threat because the perception of that person is a woman. Okay? But here's the other thing. Biology. This is going to sound harsh, but biology, a trans woman's biological makeup, physical physique, skeletal physique will make it easier for self-defense. I'm not saying that said trans woman would be able to defend herself 100%. I'm not saying that, but there is more of a fighting chance. I have so many questions about this. I don't even know if I'm asking the right ones. The First Minister added that the bill would be proceeding with urgency and pace due to the number of women who have raised concerns over sex not being covered within the recent hate crime bill. Baroness Kennedy's report had recommended the creation of a separate law to tackle the spectrum of misogynistic conduct, rather than including it in the hate crime law. A government spokesperson previously said that a misogyny bill would create a new focus on protecting women and girls to address criminal behavior motivated purely by misogyny. Figures released by the Police Scotland on Tuesday showed that the number of online hate reports dropped by almost 75% in the second week since the introduction of the new hate crime legislation. It's because people pushed the boundaries and then realized that they weren't going to get anywhere. There were 1,832 online hate reports between 8th and 14th of April, and that was down from 7,152 from the previous week. The vast majority of the reports received were anonymous and resulted in no action being taken. There were 213 hate crimes recorded in the same period, down from 240 the previous week, with officers also recording 25 non-crime hate incidents, 5 fewer than the previous week. During a ministerial statement in Parliament on Tuesday, Justice Secretary Angela Constant said the government could not have done more to inform people about the new law. No, but they just made it very unclear. She said, "I accept that the Scottish Government could have done nothing more to inform people about this act, as well as our wider approach to tackling hate crime and the prejudice. However, let's be clear, even if the government had produced more information, bad faith actors who are intent on spreading misinformation would have done so regardless." Okay, and then it goes on to talk about the cast review. Like I said, I've not actually finished reading that yet. So once I finish reading it, I will be in a position to make a more informed video. Okay. So there you go. So should trans women be included under the misogyny law, or should an entirely new law be created for them? For trans women and trans men, because trans men are targets as well, and I think people seem to forget that. So, yeah. So there you go. That's what Hamza Yusuf. I can never say his name. Yusuf has said. Um, what do you think about that? Should they come under the law, or should a new law be created? Chat about it. Don't chat about it. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.